I think it's about time. 7 months later, to be exact. While everybody is out enjoying Comic-Con or checking up on the news, it's time for me to do my top 10 movies of 2015. So, yes, I am pretty late to getting this done. I wanted to make sure I saw all my 2014 movies, and I did, so I'm pretty proud of that. I saw quite a few movies this year. Wasn't impressed by a lot of them. There's 2 movies that are honorable mentions. I'm blanking right now. I know one of them's Horrible Bosses 2. I found it one of the funniest comedies of the year, but I only wanted to throw, like, one comedy in there. Of course, there are others with, like, other movies in this top 10 list with comedy in them, but it's not a full-fledged comedy. However, yeah, I just didn't want to put 2 comedies in Horrible Bosses 2 is kind of like a guilty pleasure, I guess you could say. There's one more I'm blanking right now, though. Anyways, let's get on with it. I hope you liked my failed bow tie. Didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but you know, whatever. Let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I had a blast with this movie. I've seen it quite a few times now. The soundtrack is fantastic. It's lots of fun, and it's Marvel's more unique movie. As soon as it was announced, I was actually looking forward to it, even though I never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I just thought the premise was kind of cool, and I was hoping Marvel would be able to pull it off. And they really did. The previews was exactly how I wanted it to be in the movie, and the trailer, like, really translated into the movie really well. What I mean by that is that, like, is basically the same, because sometimes previews aren't the same as the movie. Okay, I'm just, like, ranting a little bit too much. This is my number 10 movie. I really enjoyed it. At the number 9 slot, I have Nightcrawler, an excellent portrayal of Lou Bloom, a guy on the search for a job, thinks that he's finally found it, and he's kind of a sociopath. Jake has proven once again to be one of my favorite actors. This would have been placed lower on my list, but my expectations were a little too high going into this movie, so I sort of felt let down. It could be placed lower in the future, but for right now it's at number 9. I just couldn't get it any lower. At number 8, we have The Grand Budapest Hotel. This isn't the comedy I was talking about, even though it kind of is. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought I enjoyed Moonrise Kingdom a bit more, but I still had a blast watching this one. At number 7 is the Lego Movie, the best animated movie of last year, and I was actually kind of thrown back when the Lego Movie wasn't nominated for Best Animated Feature of the Year. And plus I was a little let down with Jake Gyllenhaal not being nominated for Best Actor in the Oscars as well. So, I mean, like, I don't know, this is, like, definitely it. The Lego Movie is so clever, and I enjoyed so much about it. I wish I could place it lower, but there's 6 more other movies that I enjoyed better than the Lego Movie. So this is the comedy I was talking about, 22 Jump Street. I enjoyed this so much more than the original 21 Jump Street, which is really hard to do for a comedy sequel. Definitely the best comedy of the year. I laughed throughout this movie. You know, I wish I could be a drummer, but after seeing Whiplash, which is my number 5 movie, I don't know if I could handle it. Mr. Fletcher just, scary shit, man. This movie is so intense. I've rewatched it probably the most out of all the movies on this list. Of course, I might get asked, why isn't this my number 1? Well, I didn't enjoy it as much as my bottom 4 movies, but this is just such a great movie, and I enjoy like showing my friends who's never seen it, and they're just like blown away because it's just one of those movies. It builds up so much throughout the movie, and then when you get to the end, it is so satisfying. Even though I felt like it was a little bit hyped up with the ending, you kind of know where it's going to go, but it's just such a relief, and you feel so good at the end of this movie, because it's pretty intense for being a musical movie. Sherry, baby, Sherry. I can't sing, but Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons really could. Coming in at number 4 is Jersey Boys. I must have been the only person that thought this was a fantastic movie. My opinion could change about this movie with further watch-throughs. I mean, this is the movie that could change with Nightcrawler, where they just switch positions on my top 10 movies 2014 shirt. But I love this movie. I had a blast watching it, and I left with a smile on my face. I don't know why there are so many mixed and negative reviews. This is a movie you should really check out. Ben the Batman Affleck and his missing wife, coming at number 3 for my top 10 movies of 2014. Gone Girl. This movie, I read the book beforehand, watched the movie, and it's just fantastic. I thought that the movie did better where the book had faults, which is extraordinary for a book adaptation to do. David Fincher does it again. This should have got more recognition at the awards. I just love it to bits. Coming in at number 2 is Interstellar. I know I might just be coming off the hype from Interstellar as just reviewing it and watching it last week. However, when I see a movie that I truly love and want to watch like 5, 10, 15 times, that makes me know that this is one of my favorite movies. I would have put it in number 1, but I felt like I saw a movie a couple months ago that just made me feel something. And I felt like putting Interstellar at number 1 would kind of make me look like I was really coming off the hype train off Interstellar. And I don't want to look like that. Plus, the movie that's number 1 deserves everything that it gets. But, however, Interstellar is a great movie. If you haven't seen my review, check it out. That's a shameless plug, whatever. And I loved everything, well, almost everything about it, if you saw from my review. Nothing made me feel more than Boyhood, which comes in at number 1. I saw this movie about 2 months ago, and I went in not with low expectations, just with an expectation, feeling like maybe I won't like this movie as much as it's being hyped up about, because sometimes those front-running Oscar movies aren't the greatest, or at least in my opinion, sometimes I don't enjoy them as much as, like, the Academy does. However, that was not the case with Boyhood. I enjoyed everything about this movie. It was such a feat for, Richard Linklater to film this movie over 12 years. It's just amazing. And, I heard reviews about the boy at the beginning being a little, shifty-eyed and kind of a stale actor, but I went with it, and where the movie really ended off kind of made me think, like, holy shit, I'll be in that situation, like, in a year, or even 6 months. I mean, it's just scary, and everything about it just made me rethink my life, and what it was like to be a little kid, and that's what Boyhood is. It may not have a deep plot, it's just about life. And what really is life? Boyhood's just perfect. Definitely see it, and it's just such a great experience. Alright guys, this has been your favorite critic 26 with my top 10 movies of 2015. I know I'm really late. I had to get this done. Hopefully my top 10 movies of 2015 will be out before July. Hopefully you didn't mind my stutteriness and shit like that. I had small just points that I liked about the movie as I was going down, so I was kind of doing my throwback, which was not having a script when I do these videos. But, yeah, even now I'm just kind of stuttering a bit, but, yeah, so hopefully that didn't draw you back too much and that you still enjoyed this video, and smack that like button, of course. Again, I just want to make a PSA that these movies, you may not agree with me being where they are placed in this list, but this is my opinion. These aren't, like, some of them may not be the greatest movies, they're just movies that I really enjoyed, and that's what it comes down to. These movies that are in my top 10 are what are the movies that I'm gonna watch over and over again, and that's why I love them so much. Yeah, I can't believe that it's finally done now. I remembered my honorable mentions, like I said before, it was Horrible Bosses 2 and Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, just be lucky that I didn't place that in my top 10 movies of 2014 list, or I would have fucking started an uprising, because I think that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a decent time, it's a fun time in the theaters, and I still enjoy watching it. I mean, nobody can take that away from me, it's just my opinion. That's what's so great about film. So all you haters out there, do not hate on anybody's favorite movies list, unless they say that their favorite movie is better than your favorite movie, then you can just fucking punch them in the face. Okay guys, I am just ranting and babbling on right now, so I'm gonna go. I don't know what my next review will be of. Possibly the late 2000, okay, the A-Team. I don't know when it came out, I'm trying to remember the date. 2010 maybe, 2007, I'm not sure, but that one with like Quentin Rampage Jackson and Liam Neeson, that A-Team, that movie that's just like the okay average action movie, I'm gonna rewatch and give you guys a review, and maybe I'll think differently of it after viewing it. So be on the lookout for more reviews coming from me. Hopefully you like this video, and yeah guys, see you next time.